Okay, here we go. We're going to do this. I'm going to do this one and go because I need to move my chair. There we go. Right, here we go. Good luck with this one. I'm going to try and do this so you don't have to do any edits as well. Right, so everyone, how's it going? First of all, I want to apologize that there hasn't been basically any content recently, probably for about 5 months now. There is a reason for that, and I'm gonna have to share a bit of information in order for that to make sense. So, I'm not looking forward to making this video. Genuinely, I'm actually kind of nervous about making this video. Here goes. So, I suffer with a condition called chronic migraine syndrome. Now, for those of you that probably don't know what that is, because it's not a common condition, it's essentially it affects something like 1 in 8 million people or something. And then on top of that, it's got different levels of severity depending on how severe it is, depends on how much of an impact it has on you. Unfortunately, I fall into the category where I have the most severe form of chronic migraine disorder. And that is that for those of you that have had a headache before, that usually lasts, a couple of hours maybe, and then it disappears. For those of you that have had a migraine before, it lasts a couple of days and it sucks. I get 5 different types of migraines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They never stop, ever. And for the last 10 years, I've been going through treatments after treatments after treatments after treatments. I've gone through every type of medication that exists. I've been on most of the trials for some of the experimental treatments that never even made it to market because they just didn't work. I've had Botox injections in the back of my head. I've had Botox injections in the side of my head. I've had beta blockers and protein inhibitors and gene modifying medications, and still the problem persists. And for those of you that maybe have never experienced a migraine before, because it's not a normal thing to happen, by the way. Migraines, although sound silly, but they're not a common occurrence. So if you've never experienced one before, imagine having all your senses turned up to 11. Now, normally the highest they would go is 10. But for some reason, someone's decided to take that dial and go and turn it up that one extra notch. So it's going over what it should. Bright lights become super bright lights. Hearing is ramped up to a level that is beyond insane, to the point where if I'm having a bad day, I can hear the hairs on my arms move. I can hear them moving. Smell. Your sense of smell is heightened. Your sense of taste is heightened. Everything is ramped up. But it's not a good thing. It's painful because your body isn't designed to handle that level of intensity. And it is the most excruciating pain you can imagine. Well, when someone suffers with chronic migraine, instead of it going up to 11, it goes up to about 100. And depending on, again, I'm not trying to dismiss people that have normal migraines, but when someone with chronic migraine has an episode, so I have blackouts, I have seizures, my brain swells so much that it breaks and it sends the wrong messages, to the point where you've probably noticed it on a couple of my videos, and you've probably noticed it now. My hands are actually locked up. My fingers are actually stuck like this at the moment, because my brain is not telling the muscles in my hands to let go. And I mean, all that medicine can do is pump you with more medications, which is fun. I mean, I've got injectors down here that I have to jam into my arm if I can't get my muscles to relax. If it gets too painful, this is tolerable, but it will sometimes get to the point where, like, it will pull so hard it will break bones. It's crazy how powerful the muscles in your body are. Genuinely, it is. Anyway, going off on a tangent. About 8 years ago, I went in for some risky surgery. It was new at the time, and it was an occipital nerve stimulator and a deep brain nerve stimulator. One went in the top of my head, and one went in the back of my head. That's connected up to a battery that they physically put in my chest. And it helped for a while. And then it started to not help. And it started to fail. And then new medications came out, and I was on those, trying to keep the system that they put in me maintained. And overall, it wasn't getting any better. And then last year, things got worse. A lot worse. I ended up in probably the worst place I've been in for a while. Family members died. My dog died. My daughter got sick. Really sick. I got sick. My wife got ill. Mentally ill. I was working all the hours I could and trying to put a smiley face on and be the happy, fun person that, people want to enjoy watching on a YouTube video. Certainly not this guy. And I couldn't do it anymore. And my condition was getting worse. My implant in the back of my head was failing. The battery was failing. And something had to give. And I couldn't turn what was going on in my life off to put on a big happy smiley face and sit in front of a camera and act like an idiot. And then spend 2 days, because I know nothing about editing, trying to edit a video. And then looking at that video and being completely disappointed with the results, even though maybe it would have been considered acceptable. But for me, I've always lived by an ethic of, if I'm going to do something, it's going to be to the best of what I can do. And if I don't feel it's good enough, then I shouldn't be putting something like that out, because it's not right to put something out that's subpar. Well, I recently, and if you've been on Discord, you will have seen and been aware. If you're not on Discord, there's links to that in the description somewhere. I don't know where that comes up anymore. I'll be honest with you, it's been a while. that I underwent pretty major surgery recently. Basically spent 11 hours on an operating table. I've had a new nerve stimulator, deep brain stimulator. I've had a new battery. I've had some fiber optic cables now fused to my nerve endings, which is interesting. And I now have a I now have a mobile phone that controls me, and that sounds insane. I know that sounds insane, and I'm going to introduce him now. I may as well to my new editor. Hi, I don't know what we're going to call you, so for now we'll call you editor, and you can decide what we call you. You're going to have to filter out blur out some segments of this, particularly names. Okay, please, thank you. So on this device now, I press a button, and it connects to the system that's installed in my head. Wait for it. That's me. So I literally have a system. I'm controlled by a mobile phone. Social media has won, everyone. Social media won. People are now controlled by their mobile phones. I'm literally controlled by a mobile phone. This turns off, I'm stuffed. So, yeah, the reality is I'm doing my best, and I'm not going to be able to put out videos at the same sort of rate that all these other people can do them. Like, it's just not physically possible for me. There are days where I can't talk. There are days where I will have back-to-back seizures, and I'm sitting there on diazepam, tramadol, gabapentin. What else have we got in here? Morphine. I mean, you name it. It's all in there to try and cope. But I ain't giving up. I'm not. Not just for me, but for those around me that matter. For my wife, for my daughter, for myself, for my friends. So this is me saying I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna sit here and say to you, I'm going to stream 5 times a week. I'm gonna put out 8 videos a week. I'm not even gonna promise to do 1 stream a month and 1 video a month, because I can't make that promise. And if I do that, I'm giving you a false expectation. So if it's within me to be able to keep doing this, I will continue to do this. And if I can't do it, I won't. I'll take a step back, and I'll wait until I'm back on my feet again, and then pick things back up. So, yeah. And it does mean that a few things are going to have to change. There is going to be content changes, by the way, around what kind of content I'm doing. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One of them I'm not going to go into, but again, if you're on the Discord, you understand why. But there is a certain game that won't be being featured on this channel anymore. I'm not going to take down what I've already done, but I'm not going to promote anything else for them again. So yeah, we're going to see how this plays out. We're going to see how this turns out, and hopefully, I don't cock this up. Because, yeah, I like doing this. I enjoy doing this. This is fun for me. This isn't fun for me. But, yeah. Okay. That's it. You now know. Welcome to my hell. I live day by day with my head constantly trying to kill me. And it sucks. Genuinely sucks. So, yeah. This is me. See where this goes, shall we? Well, that's it. I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to like the video. And for anyone out there that might have a similar condition to me in any capacity, I ain't gonna lie to you. It don't get better. But you aren't on your own. Like, there are others of us out there that are suffering like this as well. So, also, counting in your head helps. Close your eyes and just picture the numbers before you say them. Don't say them out loud, because thinking hurts. Anyway, I'm out. I don't even know why I'm talking. Bye!